Welcome to Techin5, where you can get your tech news in 5 minutes. My name is Christina, and this is your weekly download. Well, folks, this week we're going to be talking about semiconductor manufacturing in the United States, an industry that was once thriving back in the 80s when semiconductors were coming into discovery and to common use. And we all know about the dot-com era in Silicon Valley in California. Over the years, with different changes in world trade and economic incentives, our manufacturing processes had been offshored to other countries, reducing the USA's participation in the global marketplace for semiconductor manufacturing from somewhere in the low 30s, 33 to 35%, depending on who you're talking to, all the way down into the latest report for the end of 2021, which was a very low 12%. Now, the impact of the pandemic has certainly showed the effect of offshoring our manufacturing to overseas countries and shortages that have been felt in a variety of different sectors, from automobiles to computers and so on. So if you've been trying to buy a computer recently, or you have an electronic vehicle that has a motherboard that needs to be changed, then you're certainly getting a notification that your wait time is going to be quite lengthy. So seeing an opportunity here to develop and promote the local economy in the United States, President Biden on August 9th signed into law the CHIPS and Science Act. This act provides additional funding to our manufacturing community of about $52 billion in subsidies and tax credits for global chip manufacturers to expand their presence in the United States. Some of the companies that have already signed on to take advantage of this include Intel, who is building 2 facilities in Arizona and 2 more in Ohio. Qualcomm is building a facility in New York as well. So this act is, of course, meant to stimulate construction. So we have to catch up with a backlog of manufacturing at this moment by building these facilities. So as you can imagine, building a facility presents another series of challenges, including the cost of getting them up and running and the length of time needed to enable them. Costs can range all the way up into the $20 billion range and take anywhere from 3 to 5 years to be enabled to start production. So it may be a little bit of time before we can solve the supply chain backlog right now for chip manufacturing, but there is hope on the horizon. In addition to challenges based on cost and time to build facilities, there are environmental concerns as well. And you may have already heard of ESG incentives and programs, initiatives that are abound in corporate America at the moment, which are meant to provide an opportunity to put the magnifying lens on the impact into the environment that these corporations may have as they build facilities, and the impact that it has on providing talent and having a migration of workers to actually be available to run the facilities. On the positive side, of course, that means that we are going to, and there's funding going into research, education, as well as periphery for that. So there's an additional $200 billion allocated in the CHIPS and Science Act that was signed into law towards scientific research in artificial intelligence, robotics, and quantum computing. This, of course, is intended to bolster USA job education and sophistication for talent resources to support the industries in electronics, technology, and manufacturing sectors. So again, it's a little bit of we're getting started a little bit late, but we hope that within 3 to 5 years, we will be able to lift the numbers and the market share that the U.S. has for manufacturing from that 12% previously mentioned and get it back into more significant numbers, such as we had in the 90s. So that is a great news for us and exciting to see. I am a strong believer in returning manufacturing to the United States. Of course, that does mean that our cost of goods and services might go up a little bit, but it's also important to pay attention to our labor force and to our local economies. So stay tuned for more developments in this area, and thanks for tuning in to Techin5. See you next time.